Nacho! It's showtime, folks. Hey guys, Chuco's Power Pick number 4 is underway, and guess what we got? It is Nacho Libre. Guys, Nacho Libre, if this video comes out when it's supposed to, released actually 18 years today, June 16th here in the United States. So it's an 18-year-old movie. It's kind of hard for me to believe because I remember when it was just coming out, it was one of those Nickelodeon movies, and I was a Nickelodeon kid, you know. I never really jumped to, you know, Cartoon Network or Disney Channel. The mouse could keep his mouse good tools, but I was stuck on Nickelodeon. And I remember when the ads to this started coming out, I didn't know. I think I was in the transition period between, like, you know, animated movies to live action movies. And I just remember seeing Jack Black gonna be the star. And I always thought, hey, that's a goofy guy. I know he's in comedy movies and stuff like that, but I really didn't know about that Jack Black charm. And I gotta tell you what, guys, Nacho Libre is gotta be one of my favorites, and now I guess it's becoming a classic, and it's a Chuco Power Pick, and we're ready to get started with it, guys. So, Nacho Libre is a story of Jack Black's character, Ignacio, who goes by the name of Nacho to a lot of his friends, and he works in this monastery and is disrespected by a lot of the brothers that works there because he works in the kitchen, and this monastery doesn't have a lot of money to support the orphans that live there. And what Nacho's doing now is he's always been interested in this lucha libre lifestyle, this over-the-top extravagant lifestyle that is depicted to be the luchador. And he decides to moonlight as a wrestler to not only support these children, but to try to get a little bit of self-respect and some glory that he thinks that he's missing out on. And that is the plot of the movie. So something to going into Nacho Libre, just to understand a little bit of the context of where I come from. You know, in the Hispanic culture, if not a lot of people know, I'm sure it is known, but just in case you don't know, lucha libre is a big deal. A little fun fact about good old Chuco, his grandfather was actually a luchador back in the day, and it's just one of those things where it shows like the, you know, the elegance and the machismo and this and that of the, you know, Hispanic culture. And I think lucha libre is a big part of Hispanic culture, and it's just something that, you know, you see a lot of, especially like in Mexico or kind of Hispanic heavy areas, you know. And I just think lucha libre is just something really cool, and it's something extravagant. And I grew up a fan of American wrestling as well. It was one of those things where me and my dad especially, you know, my dad came from a different era of wrestling, and he introduced me into my era of wrestling, you know, the Attitude Era, as they called it in the WWE. And it was one of those things that I really enjoyed watching up until a certain age. I just lost track of it. But all that to say is I loved wrestling and I loved Nickelodeon. So when Nacho Libre was going to release, it was one of those things where I can't remember if I was super excited to see it, but I do know I was interested in it. And guys, it has become a classic, and a beloved classic at that, for good old Chuco. And we're just gonna get into some of the positives of it. I'm not really gonna tear this down, guys. It's a power pick. It's something I recommend you checking out, but we'll go ahead and get into some of the pros. So one of the things I think Nacho Libre does extremely well is the comedy. I mean, it's Jack Black doing goofy things most of the movie, and it hits in almost every single way. If you're a fan of like Napoleon Dynamite, kind of that sort of comedy, it's a little bit watered down as far as like it's still built for kids. But in a sense, it's not going to be not fun for adults. It's going to be pretty enjoyable for adults. And it's one of those things that it seems timeless to me. Based off of rewatch, I just rewatched it a little bit earlier today. And it's still, you know, as an adult man now, a lot of the comedy still hits. And I really enjoyed that. Jack Black's charm is clearly present, and there's something there for everybody to enjoy. And I think that's something awesome about Nacho Libre. Another thing is, the story's actually kind of deep. For being a 90-minute runtime, you get a lot of a dynamic between this character about his struggle with being, you know, this Catholic, devout Catholic, or someone who's like really into his religion and his service to these orphan children, and struggling to actually want to be striving for this glory, you know what I mean? This glory of being a luchador, being somebody that's just kind of admired and respected, because this guy is just somebody that isn't, you know? It's not that he's not respected by the children that he's working with or working for, you know, trying to support, but he's not respected in the monastery in which he's working. And it's something where he's trying to be a good person, but at the same time, he's striving to get some sort of respect that is considered sinful. And there's something there, the balance is there, and there's a payoff in this story. You know what I mean? You watch him grow as a character. You see him go from Ignacio, this cook, to being somebody that is supported by not only a sister, that Encarnacion, who comes in, you know what I mean, that thinks wrestling is a sin, but all the orphans are banding around trying to support him in his quest to win for them. And it's quite awesome to see that growth. Another thing that is a pro to Nacho Libre, it is extremely quotable. Nacho Libre's got to be one of the most quoted things in my, you know, day-to-day life. It's one of those things where there's just quote after quote that after you've seen the movie, you're gonna just drop them. And it's just one of those things where it makes it rewatchable. You know, like I said, coming from 18 years, it's been out 18 years, and there's still things I say just that Jack Black executes very, very effectively, very, very comedically well timed and well done. Nacho and Esqueleto together is just one of those comedic duos that I think is extremely underrated if you haven't seen Nacho Libre, because they work well off of each other. Sure, some of it is childish and goofy comedy, but it still hits and it's still funny because you get that dynamic of somebody who has the skills, you know, and somebody who doesn't, who just has that dream and is chasing that dream first for himself, and then understanding that he's doing it for a higher purpose. And I just think that it's done extremely well. The heart, especially in this film, and this is another pro, is surprisingly there as well. You know, it's a film with a lot, and I mean a lot of heart. It's going back to what I said earlier, me and my pops, you know, this was one of those first movies that we kind of just both enjoyed. I mean, my dad, for better or worse, I mean, he likes to pick some duds every once in a while. And I remember as a kid, him picking this one for both of us to watch. And both of us, you know, since we were into wrestling, he was into some of the comedy at the time. He even gave me my first nickname, a nickname that has probably stuck since then because of this film, you know. And there's just a lot of heart there, you know, especially, you know, you see the kids that are really, really depending on Nacho, you know, to deliver for them, that yearning to have something better for themselves because they're all orphans, you know, and Nacho becoming this symbol of hope for them. It's just something that there's a lot of heart there. That underdog story is clearly present throughout, and there's just something awesome about seeing him rise to the occasion of being going from Ignacio to Nacho Libre, you know. And I think there's something great for everybody to watch when it comes to Nacho Libre. Again, one of the pros that I said even before, just a couple seconds ago, is that underdog story mentality. A lot of people like underdog stories, and sometimes it's, you know, not done quite well. It's half-baked. It's just not done well. And for the short runtime that is Nacho Libre, you get a beginning, middle, and end for this character. You see him start chasing this glory, chasing the glory to see what it tastes like. You know what I mean? You see him go from that to understanding why he's not getting that. And when he finally realizes why he's not getting to the level he wants to get to, when he's given the opportunity to rise to the occasion, Nacho does that. And I think that underdog story is something that a lot of people can relate to. Maybe not exactly as a luchador, but in some aspect of everyday life, people root for the underdog, and Nacho Libre's got to be one of the best introductions to an underdog story for a child, I think, in 18 years. I mean, you know, it's one of those things where it's just great. I think it is a family-friendly watch that everybody can enjoy. There's something there for parents to enjoy. There's something there for kids to enjoy of a certain age, you know. there's nothing off-putting for younger audiences. I just, for live action, I understand that some children aren't going to be into that. But Nacho Libre is still there for children, for adults, and it's got a lot of heart to it. And this goes into my final pro of the movie, which I've spoken on and I think I've hit on enough, is the emotional and heartfelt character of this film. Nacho Libre is something to behold. I mean, it's something quotable. It's something truly beautiful. It's an original story, and it's actually based off of a true story. Not a lot of people know that. It's loosely based off of a real thing that happened. I don't know too much of the exact details of that to get into it, and I don't want to do that story disjustice, but I do know that it is based off of an actual, I believe it's a priest that was wrestling to support orphans. So there's something great about that, just that it's loosely based off of something and it's heartfelt, because you feel Jack Black putting all his work, he's doing all this physical acting, all this comedic acting, and still has that Jack Black charm that is making you root for this guy, that's really making you root for this character. You support him, and man, if I can't say this is one of my favorites of all time. I know this is not an Academy Award winning film. This isn't gonna go to the Oscars. Jack Black isn't gonna walk across a stage, or didn't walk across a stage for this film. But this is one of those, I love these movies that you just don't see anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you're not sitting there just to enjoy it. You know what I mean? You don't see those anymore. And this is something I sit down and makes my heart feel good. It puts me in a good mood. The music in this movie, it goes from just being the Nacho Libre theme to being the most hope-inspiring, ready to go, jump up, testosterone up, just get it done. By the end of the movie, you hear that Nacho Libre theme, and it's just something to behold. I'm telling you guys, it's definitely one of Chuco recommends, because it's a Chuco power pick. And in my heart of hearts, Nacho Libre is probably way higher than the grade that I'm gonna give it, but I also have to be fair to it. So with that, let's get into my rating. Nacho Libre is a family-friendly film that everybody can enjoy, from adults to children. It's a classic. By every meaning of the word, it is a classic to me now. I've loved it since it came out. It's insanely quotable. I have a pretty deep connection with it just because of the relationship that me and my dad had when it, came out, and when we started watching it together. Now we quote it to each other all the time. I think it's one of those things where it's a good introduction to the underdog story kind of category of film, and it's a movie I love. Whatever, you could say what you want. I'm gonna rate it what I'm gonna rate it, and it's a recommended movie for me, guys. And Nacho Libre is 3 out of 5. Do you feel lucky? The only reason you have to ask if you feel lucky is that the comedic nature of this film is somewhat childlike. But guys, in my heart, this movie's a 5 out of 5. I would give it a 5 out of 5 out of my heart. But Nacho Libre is a 3.5 out of 5. Ask yourself if you feel lucky. But guys, with that, I want to wish all fathers out there a happy Father's Day. Hopefully you're seeing this on Father's Day, and if you're not, it's okay. Happy Father's Day anyway. I mean, to all the dads out there, all the great dads, this is definitely one of those movies that I share a good relationship, a good memory with my father with, and it's something that I think is great to show young children and watch it with them. There's a lot of jokes in there, a lot of quotes that I love that I just wouldn't do justice. And I just genuinely love this movie. This is, again, not an Academy Award winner, but they don't all have to be Academy Award winners. You know what I'm saying? This is just a fun, heartfelt movie that I enjoy watching from time to time, and it's something I think you should check out. And that is why it is a Chuco power pick. But guys, with that being said, what do you guys think of Nacho Libre? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Disagree with what I'm saying? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, we'd really appreciate if you subscribe or like and share this video. It really helps us grow. And guys, I also want to take just a quick second to support some small business. And this isn't a sponsor or anything like that, but Craft Tees 915 helped make Chuco's Powerhouse Cinema's first t-shirt, and I really appreciate him. Great guy, really supportive, and he went out of his way to get this done on a rush, and I appreciate that. I also want to take a time again to say Happy Father's Day to everybody. You guys are all appreciated, and I hope you guys had a great day. Also, be looking out for our first top 10. It's coming soon. I already have it in mind, and I gotta thank one of my buddies from work for recommending it. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it. It's just one of those things I gotta sit down and do, but it'll get done, guys, so be looking out for that. If you haven't checked out some of my movie reviews before, go ahead and check them out. I'll go ahead and link them up, or one of them up here. Or check out our other power picks, because, you know, every once in a while you want to kill a couple of hours, and why not check them out? But guys, with that being said, always remember something my friend Ramses used to tell me, and that's